What's up, everyone? My name is Tyler. You are watching Mom's Basement MMA, and today I'm speaking with one of the top flyweight prospects in the country. He's currently on a 3-bout winning streak, and he'll be fighting next for the A1 Combat Flyweight Title on September 6th. Welcome, Terrance Wrong Turn Saeteurn. Always a pleasure to have you on the program, my friend. Glad we've been doing this for the years that we have, and we got a big title fight in front of us.
For sure, man. What's going on with you, Tyler? Thank you again for having me, man. And like you said, bro, we've been doing this together for a while now, and I'm glad that we've been together and since the beginning. And good things are happening, man. Good things are
Yes,
happening.
yes, sir. Well, especially for you, you have already fought 3 times this year. You are one of the most active fighters in any weight class on the regional MMA scene that I am aware of. Can you take me back, Terrance, to the beginning of 2024? What were some of the goals that you had to accomplish this year, and how many of them have you ticked off?
One of the goals that I had was to fight like 4 to 5 times. Pretty close, pretty close. I feel like that's like a yearly goal for me is to fight like about 4 to 5 times. Another goal was to get a title shot at a regional MMA promotion, and it's happening. And I got to look at my notebook, man. But those two definitely stand out to me the most. And I mean, I'm taking the necessary steps to check these things off the list throughout the year.
Terrence, like when I think of you, I think of a freestyle fighter. You're a guy that can do everything really, really well. Can you tell me a little bit, like, where do you feel your game has evolved the most in 2024?
I appreciate you saying that, man, because a lot of times people are like, "What are you? Are you a striker or are you a grappler? What do you like to do?" And I usually tell people that, like, I'm a freestyle fighter, and they're like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I think I can do a little bit of everything." As far as where I've seen that I've improved the most is probably mindset during fight camp. Fight camp's a very, very difficult thing to go through for anybody, really. And it can make or break you. And there was times before where I found myself just being very, very in my own head and like telling myself that I'm not good enough, like I'm not doing good enough. And now I try to give myself credit when credit is due. Like, hey, like I've been busting my ass, I've been working real hard. Yes, today's a hard day, or yes, today I'm not doing as good as I normally am. I'm not feeling as sharp as I normally am, and that's okay. I seen this video a while back, and it took me a while to kind of really understand it. And it was like this Olympian, and she was saying how her coach told her about this rule of thirds, where a third of the time you're gonna feel great and you're gonna feel like on it and sharp, and then another third of the time you're not gonna feel you're gonna feel like kind of so about it, and then the other third you're gonna feel like shit. So like, if I'm feeling any of those three things a third of the time, then it's just like, okay, it's just rule of thirds. So I would say mindset during fight camp is how I've improved.
Is getting the matchups that make sense for you more and more challenging to do as you progress in your career?
Sometimes, because I get lists of names, and then there's sometimes there's people with not as good records, and I am kind of confused, like like how come I'm getting this name? Like I want to get somebody with a better record, or I want to get somebody that is gonna that I know is gonna give me is like some trouble, because I want to test myself. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, like it always comes back to me having a good management team and a good coaching staff. Because if anybody ever asks me, like, hey, you want to fight this guy? You want to fight this guy? I'm just gonna say yeah. So like I'm glad that I have, my manager Jeremy, and then Coach Sonny there to kind of like point me in the right direction. Like, I don't know if this one's good. Like this guy's got a good record, or like this guy's a good matchup for you. So yeah.
You fought Stav Shwartz in your last fight, a tough guy. He was undefeated, and you went out there and you took him out in the very first round. That you made fighting a really advanced, tough guy. You made it look really easy. And I'm just curious, like, when what was your game plan going into that fight, and how did you set up that finish? I know you're a guy that you've done this time and time again, is like you find finishes that's very unique for the flyweight class. Like you have very heavy hands and you hit people really hard. Can you tell me a little bit, like, how did you set up that finish against him and what was the game plan?
Yeah, the game plan, I actually kind of diverted a little bit from the game plan, and Sonny kind of bit my head off the following days. I wasn't supposed to kick that early because watching Stav's previous fights, he does a really good job catching people's kicks and then taking people down off of it. And literally, like the second exchange that we had, I fucking threw a kick, and when I threw that kick, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm about to fucking get cussed out later on, bro." And luckily, he didn't take me down, but he pressed me up against the cage, and I had to fight. Um, I had to defend the takedown, and then but yeah. So the game plan was to cut him off and keep him in boxing range, and then shoot later on, like in the later half of the round. Um, but after he pressed me up against the cage, I ended up he ended up like trying to take my back, and then like I like had a deep underhook, and and I hiked it up, and he ended up falling into guard, and he went for a little tripod sweep, and it kind of knocked me off balance, and then we ended up back on the feet. I clinched him up, pressed him up against the cage, and I think once he felt that he wasn't able to like he wasn't as strong as me, he decided to pull guard, and I watched this fight a bunch of times afterwards too, and I slowed it down, and I paused it a bunch of times because I don't think that I poked him in his eye, man, and like I had my head down and I went to go frame, and then I heard him go, "Oh," and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked up, and then he's like covering his eye. I'm like, oh fuck, man. And then Herb stood us up, and I was just like, bro, like it was an accident, man. Like I didn't mean to, and then I was gonna when we stood back up, I was gonna just like start from all the way across the cage and meet back in the center. But then I heard one of my coaches saying like, "Hey, stay focused." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, when we start, I'm just gonna fucking press forward." And I heard Coach Sonny calling out one of our calls, and I sent it and followed up on it. I caught him. I remember catching him with the left hook, and I felt like his legs kind of give out a little bit, and then he got tall. And when he got tall, I was like, "Oh, yep, okay." And then his back hit the cage, and then I fucking just followed up, and next thing I know, he's falling down and his mouthpiece is falling out. And yeah, man, I remember following up with strikes, and Herb was like about to step in, and he was like halfway in, halfway out, and I wasn't trying to just guess. I wanted to know for sure that he was gonna tell me to stop. So I just kept throwing. I told myself, just keep your shots short and keep them fast, because he's hurt right now. You don't need to cock back and wind up super, super big. He's hurt. And then, fucking like 15 strikes later, Herb ended up stepping in, and I was just like, all right, cool, finally. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you. I mean, Stav's a high level opponent, and you took him out of there. That's not easy to do. And did you know, putting on a show like that, like after you knock a guy out like that in the very first round, you had to have known in the back of your mind that this next fight was going to be a big one. That this was kind of probably what Tom and everyone else at A1 wanted to see, for you to get a title fight. And were you was your mind kind of along those lines?
I wasn't really looking past the fight. I don't ever do that, but I did have in mind like, bro, like if they're not gonna give me a title shot, bro, I'm gonna fucking beg these guys, bro, because it's like, man, every time I fight for you guys, or every time I fight, I do my best to not only just look for a finish, but to be exciting, and just showcase all my skills, and I was gonna go out there and be like, Tom, Uriah, please, please, man, please, just give me a chance to fucking fight for your belt, bro. That's all I need is a chance. And Johnny, I believe his name is Johnny, the person that interviewed me. Uh, he told me that, and I was like, bro, yes. Now I ain't gotta fucking beg nobody, bro.
Well, there you go. It's a huge opportunity, and let's talk a little bit about that. You've earned multiple MMA titles over the course of your MMA career. You probably have more amateur belts than I have like regular belts in my closet. But does having all of your prior championship experience, does that kind of like give you a bit of a mental edge going into this one, or is this just another fight in a way?
It's always just another fight, man. I mean, maybe to other people it may seem like I have a mental edge. I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, and I've fought for a bunch of different titles, and I'm grateful for everything. You know, but it's really just another fight, bro. It's nothing. I'm not making it bigger than what it is, because what it is just another fight, and it's just another opportunity for me to go out there and just show everybody what I'm really good at and what I love to do.
Well, you know me, Terrence. I'm pretty blunt. I don't pull any punches, and I'm gonna speak it to you plainly. I look
Hmm.
at this guy, 8-8 record, and I'm looking at this. I've done the Tapology scrub on this guy, and my opinion is this, right? I look at it, I'm like, Terrence is gonna buzz through this guy. Like this guy shouldn't be much of an issue for him. A tough veteran, but I don't think he poses anything that Terrence hasn't already seen. That's my mindset when I look into this. Now, obviously, you're the guy that's got to go out there and perform. So it's easy for somebody like me to sit back and talk shit. You're the one that has to go out there and actually fight this dude. And I know you're the type of guy that takes all your opponents seriously. Why is Carlos Puente Jr. a tough fight for you?
Well, just like you said, he's a veteran, man. He's got, out of everybody that I fought, he's has more fights than everyone, right? He's got 17 fights. He's His last two fights were title fights. I believe his last one was for Anthony Pettis' show, and then the other one, I forget what the promotion was called. It was like UFFC or something like that. So he's got plenty of experience. He's won a bunch of different ways. He's also lost pretty much every way that you can imagine, by decision, sub, KO. Um, he has a draw. His last fight was a draw. Um, and he's really fucking tough, man. Like, Mexican people love to fight, and Mexican people are really really fucking tough. So I'm not looking past him. I'm not gonna sleep on him, and I'm gonna take him very fucking seriously, because anybody that steps in the cage is deserves that. You know, they deserve respect, and they deserve to be taken seriously.
You've been a pro since May of 2022. So you're talking about in roughly 2 years going on the spree that you have been and then getting a flyweight title for a major organization like A1 Combat. Like that kind of like puts you at the upper echelon of the flyweight class in the country. Like, what's your reaction to like all of that? Like, you've accomplished so much in such a relatively little amount of time doing this. Like, where does that put you in the thick of it?
I appreciate that. Yeah, I try not to. I try not to look back too often, or like I try not to just keep looking back too often. You know, it's great. It's great to see how far you've come, but I'm not fucking done yet. And I have, you know, I my ultimate goal is to give myself and my family financial freedom, and I want to be able to take care of my family and take care of myself, and eventually start my own family one of these days. And I'm not exactly there yet, you know. And I mean, like I said, it's great to look back, and I know I've done all these good things and all these great things, but I'm not done yet, and I'm still in the same spot that I've been at the past couple of years. And I know and I feel it in my heart that there's going to be great things coming within either the end of this year, or within the next year or so. And I'm just excited, man. I'm just and grateful to be able to do what I love to do. And it is cool, man. Like, there are times where I look back and I'm like, fuck, dude, where is the time gone, man? Because I mean, I've been doing this for like 6 years now. I've been a pro for 2 years, and like, there's days there's days where I come into practice, and I look up on the wall, and there's like all of our belts on the wall, and I'm like, fuck, man. I feel like it was yesterday when I fucking first walked in, and I was hella fat, and like fucking, just not doing really much with my life. And so brand new, and I still feel pretty brand new to this, even though I've been doing it for a while, and I'm still learning a bunch of really good things and cool things, and but yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you a tough question. For the flyweight division, there are two places that you could go. It's one championship or the UFC, because we don't have flyweights for PFL or Bellator or whatever you want to call it as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question for you, Terrance, is for one championship or UFC, can you tell them what is an organization like that? What are they getting by bringing somebody like you into the fold? Like, what would you fighting for one of those organizations, a major MMA organization like that, like what would that mean for you, and what kind of guy are they getting by bringing you into the fold one day?
If they sign me, Terrence Wrongturn, Saeteurn, they're going to be getting a dynamic, exciting flyweight that is going to fucking bring it every single time. That is going to have a good following. Um, I'm still learning how to do like or how to make better posts on getting my fans engaged. But you know what I'm saying. The only way is up from here, and um, all I'm asking for is just a chance, man. All I'm asking for is a chance. And if they give me that chance, I'm gonna make the most of it. And I promise you that you guys are not going to be disappointed at all.
Well, Terrence, I think you've earned a chance. Aside from this fight against Puente, I think you've earned your chance. I think you've made the sacrifices, and you've been fighting for years for not a lot of money. I think you've earned the opportunity to fight on a big stage and maybe make a little bit of money this time. So, in any
Hopefully.
event, Terrence, we'll leave it at that. And I wanted to actually give you the mic. I know that we have new sponsors that are into the fold now, and I'm sure you got a bunch of other people that you want to thank. So let's have it before I let you go.
Appreciate it. Well, first off, thank you, Tyler. It's always great, man, being on your show. It's you're really good at this, man. So you make it really fucking easy. So thank you, Tyler. Mom's Basement MMA. I wanted to thank A Whole New Day. This is my new main sponsor, DeAndre and his pop John. They're based out in Utah. Don't let today get you down, because tomorrow is a whole new day. I have another sponsor, a co-sponsor in Crowned Golf. I think I just found out that the owner of Crown Golf is my girlfriend's cousin's cousin. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, it kind of just sounds like they're cousins, but yeah, Crown Golf. My fight team, Nobody MMA, Train for Life. My teammates, Houston's getting ready to fight too. Houston, Amini, Blake, Caesar, Kanoa, Adam. Um, my girlfriend Nicole, she's going to be also helping make the new shirts for this. Coach Sonny, Coach Devo, Coach Madali, um, my parents, mom and pop. Thank you guys, Uncle Johnny. Thank you A1 Combat. Thank you my management team, Iridium Sports Agency. You guys always take care of me really, really well, and I appreciate that. And I can't wait to fucking make it to the top,
Well,
because we're all
Terrence, I
going there.
appreciate your time, sir, and I look forward to having you back on the People's Show very, very soon. I wish you the best of skill here next month.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.